everyone, and welcome to OVW Overdrive, the show that always kicks out at 2. I am your host, Bryan Kennison. Normally with me, as always, Dancing Stevie J. But, folks, let's go ahead and cut to the mustard, the chase here. Last time you saw Steve and myself, and that's pretty important for the authorities, both being walked away by one Mr. Al Snow after someone called a prank gone wrong. Steve marrying Al's mom, me being the officiant. Mistakes were made. But folks, here we are. We find ourselves on OVW Overdrive. Well, myself. Steve still missing. And folks, let me go ahead and give you a little tale about where I've been. So, I walked away with Mr. Al Snow, and I can't really tell you what happened over the following minutes because I ended up blacked out. I woke up in Austria. Turns out I had been bartered with an underground fighting syndicate for a series of new office chairs for Davis Arena. So really finding out what my worth is there. I spent the next several weeks really trying to find my way back home and foregone my daily rations of goulash soup and schnitzel and traded them for sharp utensils like files, forks, spoons for lunchtime, that sort of thing. Able to tunnel my way out of that prison, found myself roadside, and my nice man by the name of Gruber put me in his bread cart and took me on down the road. And folks, more of that story will go on. I'm just happy to be back at OVW Overdrive. Let's go ahead and hop into our first match. I'm talking about ZDP versus Maximo. Mary, have you seen Steve? Is he here?
Introducing first, representing the Fallen, the Detroit Devil, ZDP.
Out here for the ring. Their opening contest tonight. I am the Easton Villain Josh Ashcraft alongside the lovely Linda Kay.
How you doing tonight, Josh?
Doing great. We got a barn burner set for action here tonight. Open it up with that wild child of the Fallen, ZDP, taking on this man.
And his opponent from Spanish Harlem, the Rican sensation, Maximo Suave.
Maximo Suave, quite the contender here in the Rush division, making his way up the rankings.
Yeah, Maximo Suave has been trying to climb the ranks here in the Rush division as of late. And look at that ZDP, just running his own head into that turnbuckle.
I'm a little frightened just sitting from where I am because some of that
I'm frightened by ZDP on a weekly basis.
Right.
I'm curious. He's had his shots. That's what I want to know. Bell sounds, this one's underway, and once again.
Speaking of shots, giving himself many shots to the head there, Josh. I don't know if that's very wise.
ZDP, hang on, quick roll up by Max. 2 count only, says the referee. Oh, and now ZDP just chewing on him, Linda.
Oh. That must not feel good. I know I would not want ZDP biting on me.
No, not in any way, shape, or form. And now ZDP starts to work over Maximo Suave in the match. And a shot to the head. You know, here's the thing. You saw him running his head into the turnbuckle. We saw it all this past weekend at live events. Oh, ZDP charging in. He's been taking a lot of shots to the cranium there.
We've seen it for the past couple weeks here on Rise and on Overdrive.
That we have is ZDP just bounces Maximo Suave's head off the canvas, maybe trying to give him a little taste of what ZDP's been going through.
Absolutely. You know, Maximo told me earlier, he's wearing purple tonight. He is dedicating this match to a good friend of his that sadly passed away this past Friday, Anthony Gaines. So, none of a kind, Anthony Gaines' little dedication here for Maximo. So let's hope Max can
pull out the victory here against ZDP. As you see him, look at that fish hook out of ZDP. Just clawing away at the face.
Now crawling away on the mat. Where is he? Oh no. We've seen this one too many times the past couple weeks.
Well, ZDP with this weird fixation on Eric Cordish. Cordish goes down. ZDP's got a hold of him.
Oh, not again. This is goodness. Eric.
Cornish running for his life. ZDP chasing him with the shoe. Now tries to make like Ike Turner on Max. Max rolls through with the kick.
I mean, that wasn't too wise for ZDP to get distracted there by Eric Cornish.
Yet another shot to the head of ZDP. Hang on, hooks him up for the backslide here. Max rolls through. Oh!
Another shot to the head.
Right to the temple that time. ZDP looking a little rocked here.
Oh.
What a right hand. Oh, now wait a second. We've seen this before. The Tiger's going to eat.
Oh.
Package pile driver right on top of his head. That's it.
Here is your winner, Maximo Suave.
Maximo Suave picking up the victory here, but ZDP, he might be knocked out.
He's not moving, but
Is he
Think a little
foaming
more.
at the mouth? What is happening right now? I don't understand. Maximo Suave, your winner, ZDP, getting taken out by Max. Max pulling out a huge victory. The
He's
referee
barely
calling for help
breathing.
here. Hang on.
Oh, it's like ZDP needing some help right now. Oh my.
Looks like some of the staff here at OVW making their way out to help. You see Maximo Suave, your winner there.
You know, as we just touched on, ZDP just getting so many shots to the head these past couple weeks.
Well, that he has, but once again, your winner tonight, Maximo Suave.
OVW presents March Mayhem. Your heart starts to race.
Whoa!
You feel the adrenaline rush through your body. Your passion takes control.
Oh!
It's OVW Live on our first ever North American tour.
Big spear!
See your favorite OVW superstars live in action, as seen on the hit Netflix reality show Wrestlers.
Welcome to OVW.
Coming to Nashville and Marathon Music Works on Friday night, April 26th. Get tickets now at ovwrestling.com.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Folks, welcome back to OVW Overdrive. Big win for Maximo Suave over ZDP before the break. And folks, big win for me even being here. If you saw the last episode, Al Snow walked me out with a destination unknown. Woke up in an underground Austrian fighting syndicate and had to tunnel my way out with sporks and forks and spoons and knives and files and found my way getting to France. And folks, let me tell you, Bryan's journey through Europe got weird when I got to France. Took an internship at a French bakery specializing in macarons. Fell in love with the bakery owner's daughter across the street. They specialized in eclairs. It was love that was never meant to be, but I'll tell you, Celine and I found a way in the darkness of night in the streets of France. Our love frolicked. It grew, and then grew into two young children, Renee and Gustave. And we became a happy family until Celine's father found out. In the middle of the night, I had to flee France, leave the family that I had grown to love, leave the macarons that I had grown to love making, the life I had to leave behind in order to make it back to OVW Overdrive. Now, folks, spare thought for Renee. Spare thought for Gustave. Spare thought for Dancing Stevie J, who's still not here. Folks, let me tell you where OVW is. We're on the road. OVW has been hitting town after town after town, and it has been electric. Let's go ahead and take it back to a couple weeks ago. OVW went to Lexington, Kentucky, and we took over the Manchester Music Hall, where over 600 rabid fans saw matches like Cal Hero taking on Tony Evans for that Country Boy Brewing OVW Media Championship. So EC3 in action. I'm talking about Cash Flow teaming up with Linda Kay to take on Joe Mack and Shannon the Dude. Shannon the Dude left laying in the ring for long after people have piled out, went home, had to be carried out of the ring by Joe Mack at the end of the evening. Quite the sight at an OVW live event. Now, folks, that's not the only place we went to. Just a couple days later, we made our way up to the great capital of Indiana. I'm talking about Indianapolis, talking about when OVW found our way to the historic Irving Theater. For the first time ever, OVW rocked Indianapolis, and hundreds of raucous fans cheered as they saw matches like EC3 and Joe Mack taking on Cash Flow and Shira, Hollywood Haley Jade challenging the baddie Layla Gray for the OVW Women's Championship, and so much more. We wanted to make sure that card was stacked because OVW is hitting Indianapolis with a passion, because we are hitting the road with Dan O seasoning for the OVW National Tour this year, folks. More dates outside of Kentucky will be announced soon, and that was just the beginning of our run. Now, speaking of run, who's ready to go on a beer run? You can't answer me because it's television. That's not exactly how that works. But you know what, folks? The answer is we went on a beer run because OVW went to Tailspin Ale Fest, one of the biggest craft brew fests in Louisville. Well, I'm sorry, not even just in Kentucky, in the country. Took place at Bowman Field, folks. I'm talking full throttle, high-flying jets in the background, while our OVW Rush Division champion, Manny Domingo, was high-flying himself, hitting that beautiful 450, retaining that championship in a multi-man match. And we also saw Jack Vaughn, the OVW heavyweight champion, going one-on-one with Luke Curtis, a man who's hungry for championship gold, as we saw this last Thursday on OVW Rise. Now, folks, Tailspin Ale Fest was special for us, the first time ever there. Their 11th year in existence, and OVW performing in front of over 5,000 people. What an incredible event. Thank you so much for having us. And guys, we had an incredible time hanging out with all our great friends at Country Boy Brewing, at Atrium, at Mile Wide. Such a fantastic time, and we can't wait to see you guys again next year at Tailspin Ale Fest. And folks, OVW is just getting started. Make sure you go to OVWTix.com regularly so you can keep up with all the live events we're doing. Are we coming to your back door or somewhere nearby? Go to OVWTix.com to find out and snag your tickets, because folks, we're hitting everywhere in the U.S. We're heading to Nashville. We're heading to Cincinnati. We're heading all over, and we want to see you ringside. So make sure you stay up to date with all the comings and goings at OVWTix.com. So folks, make sure you stick around after the break. Big action on the way. AJ Vest, the best in the world, taking on Justice Davis and KT Dunn. You're not going to miss that one, folks. And stick around, a little bit more of my harrowing journey across Europe to get back to the U.S. And folks, you thought France was something. Just stick around. Hey, baby. Yeah, no, yep, nope. So there was a thing in Austria and then France. Yeah, France. How do you feel about the names Renee and Gustav? And maybe someone living with us 1 week out of a month.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
Introducing first from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, Iceman Justice Davis.
And says he has ice in his vein. Iceman Justice Davis making his way out here, graduating the OVW Academy. And you know, we're going to see a triple threat contest here.
His first opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, KT Dunn.
KT Dunn showing us his MMA background, coming out with the punches. Will we get the strikes? Will we get the kicks tonight?
Well, maybe. KT Dunn likes to take him down to the ground too and tie him up into knots. We'll see if he's able to pull that off here tonight.
And their opponent from Cincinnati, Ohio, AJ Vest.
A lot of AJ Vest here on OVW Overdrive. He's definitely very impressive these last couple weeks here.
You know, and that he has been. AJ Vest making an impact since his debut here in OVW. And this is a young man that has potential written all over him. You know, he's been getting in the gym. He's been trying to lean out a little bit here. And the thing is, he's going to have to try to use that height advantage to stay away from the ground game of KT Dunn. You know, a ground game that you know very well from years of MMA training, Linda.
Oh. Absolutely. You know, with KT Dunn making his return here to Davis Arena, I'm really excited to see that ground game. And also, you know, we saw a little tag team work there with him and Justice against AJ Vest. And again, taking down the big man, taking down that height, I think they'll be to their advantage.
And that smart strategy there is KT Dunn now over top of Davis. Davis over, shots right to the midsection by Dunn.
Oh,
that's that
punches
training.
To the gut.
So, Linda, let me ask you, when you're in the gym, when you're training, you know, how important is it that you train punches? Hang on, crossbody.
Oh.
KTD drops in. How much time do you think that he spends working the heavy bags, working the pads?
I mean, day in, day out, you got to do that conditioning. You got to work on hitting your targets. You got to work on accuracy, and of course the power. I mean, we're seeing that right now.
That we are.
Into the stomach there of Justice Davis.
AJ Vest scoops up KT Dunn, slams him center of the ring, not to cut you off there, but Vest quicker to hiccup. Looks to do the same thing to Davis. Davis slips out though. Low corner roll, hang on too.
Oh,
thought he had
it. You mentioned Justice. Speaking of the ice in his veins, we're seeing it right there. He's showing us that power, that ice.
Look at that running frog splash. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Oh.
KT Dunn with a shot to the back of the head, and you're right, the ice in his veins, he never gets rattled. He's always cool. You know, you were talking about KT Dunn coming back to, oh, what a high angle German. When you talk about KT Dunn coming back to OVW, AJ Vest trying to make his name. KT Dunn, Justice Davis, two standouts from the OVW Academy, and AJ Vest is just rocking and rolling on both of them right now.
AJ Vest showing us that power, that domination. But speaking of, you know,
Davis.
Justice Davis showing us perhaps his patented icebreaker. Are we gonna get it?
Huge high cross body, but hang on, Vest rolls through. Hang on. He's got him in position. We've seen it before. A little tribute to Chris Harris, that catatonic. And he gets the win.
Here's your winner, AJ Vest.
AJ Vest picking up a huge victory over game competition, Linda.
Absolutely. Coming in each week, he's getting stronger and more determined every week here to show us here at OVW just what he can do.
Absolutely. Once again, a young man that has, you know, future title contender, you know, all over him, in my opinion. There's your winner yet again, AJ Vest.
It wasn't my plan to fall in love. It wasn't my plan to go to Europe. Hello? I'm sure she's going to be fine. Folks, speaking of going to be fine, AJ Vest picking up a fine win there in that triple threat match. And folks, we have more OVW Overdrive on the way. We're going to take a look at what happened on last week's OVW Rise. We're going to take a look about my run through the UK trying to find my way back to the US. Stick around.
90% of natural sleep aids don't work. Most remedies make bold claims, but never measure their real impact. Meet Sophie, the natural plant-based spray that does. Sophie isn't one size fits all. It experiments with different plant extracts to find what works for you. Paired with an app and machine learning, Sophie learns to optimize your sleep because not all plants work the same for everyone. Sophie is as unique as you.
When pain or an injury is keeping you from the game of life, we want to help you get back to your golf game, your yoga game, to the backyard games, the home games, back to the fun and games. Pro Rehab Physical Therapy, official physical therapy provider of Bellarmine Athletics and the trusted choice for keeping you in the game.
Folks, welcome back to OVW Overdrive, and let's take a look back at the OVW Rise that was last Thursday. And what a week for me to miss, right, folks? This was a night full of main event caliber matches. Let's go ahead and take a look at Big Beef continuing his big winning streak, taking out Dustin Jackson in convincing fashion. Big Beef, he's got big plans for OVW, and you know what? I think they might be gold-plated, but we'll find out sooner rather than later how it's going to work out for Mr. Big Beef. But folks, speaking of Big Beef, Tony Gunn has a big beef with Big Jack Vaughn. He wants that OVW Heavyweight Championship, but he is not the only one. Luke Curtis came out last Thursday saying he deserves an opportunity at the OVW Heavyweight Championship. He deserves an opportunity to be the guy. But the guy that had a problem with that was Tony Gunn saying, hey man, wait your turn, I'm at the front of the line. And who should appear but the veteran Jack Vaughn himself saying neither of you deserve an opportunity at this championship, telling Luke Curtis that losing your opportunity at the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship does not qualify you for challenging for the OVW Heavyweight Championship. And telling Tony Gunn, I don't know how many times I have to beat you for this championship before you learn your opportunities are done. Jack Vaughn clearly wanting no piece of either man, but you know what? That ties into this coming Thursday's OVW Rise. Tony Gunn and Luke Curtis will face off one-on-one. The winner will be your new #1 contender for the OVW Heavyweight Championship. Speaking of champions, Country Boy Brewing OVW Media Champion Cal Hero teamed up with Tusk and Chains for the Hour 1 main event, taking on Tony Evans and Beaches and Cream. Now, you know, not the most beloved guys on that side of the ring, but three men who know to get the job done when you're looking at Omar Muir, Luscious Lawrence, and Tony Evans. But get the job done, they did not. Cal Hero outsmarting Jay De Niro and Tony Evans we saw last week. That loaded glove was planted on Cal Hero. Cal Hero pulling a little bit of switcheroo this week, planting that glove on Tony Evans, causing the disqualification and picking up the win for his team in that six-man tag. Now, speaking of when six people were in the ring and things got out of hand, Carson Drake had a special duet with Shalance Royale last week, flanked by Ari Alexander, and who should show up but Ryan Von Rocket and the Von Rockettes. Now, guys, it's no secret that Ryan Von Rocket, he's irked by Carson Drake. Carson Drake is under the glittery skin of the rock star, if you will, and he's in his head, causing Ryan Von Rocket to make some mistakes. And this week the mistake was Ryan got a little angry, swang that guitar, missing Carson Drake and hitting Crystal White. Now, folks, we've gotten word from our medical staff. Crystal White is absolutely fine. She is at home recovering. She's going to be absolutely fine. But Ryan Von Rocket, you got to think, mental scars abound after that one. Is he fine? Is he going to come into Thursday making sure that Carson Drake is anything but fine? Bit of an odd quartet there thrown together. It was Freya and her team of radicals. But you know what? That quartet was able to pick up a win over the most powerful teams in OVW today. I'm talking about the Bad Girls Club. And again, some would argue they were their own worst enemy there. Tiffany throwing the blow that actually cost the matchup for her team. But we're going to see how the Bad Girls Clubs recoup and react to this coming Thursday on OVW Rise. Now, speaking of react, let's talk about two guys I'm horrified to see how they're going to react this Thursday at OVW Rise. Cashflow and Shira, the Golden Lions, challenged the Overmen for the OVW Tag Team Championships last week. The Overmen, the Golden Lions, one hell of a matchup. It was a hard-fought match between the Overmen and the Golden Lions. Folks went back and forth. But then the Beaches and Cream came out and interrupted the match. And, folks, I think a lot of people thought that they were going to attack the Golden Lions, but shocked everyone, took a shot at the Overmen. But when you think about the real shot there at the Golden Lions, because it caused the disqualification finish, and now the Golden Lions can no longer challenge for the OVW Tag Team Championships as long as the Overmen hold them. So a checkmate move by Beaches and Cream. Let's see how Cashflow and Shira react this Thursday on OVW Rise. Now, folks, stick around. Right after the break, I have my sit-down interview with the OVW Heavyweight Champion, the veteran Jack Vaughn. We're going to talk about everything from Tony Gunn, Luke Curtis, his burgeoning social media fame, and so much more after the break. Yes. No, I talked to her, Celine. Well, she's not thrilled.
Think about all the wonderful things that make you, well, you. Walking out your front door into the world, holding a loved one, talking to a friend, the sound of your own voice. Now imagine being 19 years old and losing all the things we take for granted. Watching, tossing, getting out of the bed in the morning, having all those same thoughts and feelings, and not being able to express them. Imagine being a prisoner in your own body. I thought this was my fate. I thought this was my forever. until I saw them for the very first time. They were larger than life, running, jumping, standing up, fighting for what they believe in. Millions of people hanging on every word they spoke. They became my passion, my hopes, my dreams. I was a prisoner in my own body, and they handed me the key and gave me freedom. My name is Sophia Rhodes. Wrestling didn't just save my life. Wrestling gave me life.
Hello everyone, please welcome my guest at this time, the OVW Heavyweight Champion, the last real professional wrestler, the veteran, Jack Vaughn.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Jack, thank you for being here. And honestly, there's one burning thing I wanted to ask you before we got too far in. I mean, you're the champion. You got a lot of things going on with a lot of people. But you've been here 2 years, top of the card. People have been talking about, keep talking about, but how have we not talked about your exploding social media fame? You've been absolutely blasted onto the map in the last years. I mean, you're funny, you're hilarious, the videos, people really enjoy them.
Listen. I get that a lot. Jack, you're so funny. I love watching your videos. They make me laugh out loud. But here's the thing. Behind that comedy, behind that satire, there is a very real and biting social commentary on the state of professional wrestling, a criticism of the state of professional wrestling. You see, when I started in the sport of professional wrestling, it was 2004. And even then to now, I see a massive change. The stuff that I watched growing up, the things that made me fall in love with professional wrestling, they're not around anymore. And now I walk into any locker room, not just here at OVW, but anywhere. And I see nothing but a bunch of little boys and girls pretending to play wrestler.
Now, Jack, it's funny you say that because we're talking about your social media, blowing up. Let's talk about if you follow our social media a few weeks ago and you won that OVW Heavyweight Championship, you looked right in that camera and said, I'm the best in the territory. I mean, what the hell does that even mean? OVW is not a territory. What do you mean?
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, Bryan. Louisville, Lexington, Nashville, Indianapolis, Chicago, Cincinnati, Dayton, Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Detroit. Name me anyone from who is a better professional wrestler than me. Not an indie wrestler, a professional wrestler, because you can't name any. And sure, there might be some fans that are going to see this video and be like, oh, well, so-and-so is better than Jack Vaughn. No, they're not. I can tell you that right now. Whoever you're thinking of, they are not a better professional wrestler than the veteran Jack Vaughn. I call myself the last real professional wrestler. And that's not just a cute nickname that I gave myself to put on my social media bios. It's because I say it because I mean it.
Jack, you know what? I'll even go so far as to say I've known you for a while. I have a lot of respect for you. I agree with you. You do carry yourself as a professional. You really do carry yourself as someone who appreciates the pinnacle of the business. But that's also why I want to ask you. This last week, Tony Gunn, Luke Curtis, they both threw down the gauntlet to you. Two men who fought their way to the top of the ladder that, by all rights, by all your own metrics, arguably deserve an opportunity, have scratched and clawed their way, but you turn them down. Why?
I'll reiterate what I said on Thursday. With Luke Curtis, he's part of this modern generation of wrestling that I've been talking about. He thinks he's entitled to something that he didn't earn. Oh, okay. So he won the Rumble and then he lost to EC3. So what? That makes him the number one contender for the real top title in OVW? And with Tony Gunn, it's really simple. How many times does he have to fail to beat me for this championship before he gets a clue?
All right, Jack. Fair points, fair and valid points. I think someone will argue with you, but let me ask you about someone who we don't know if you're necessarily arguing with. A little tension with you and EC3 on Thursday. I mean, you told him to stand in front of you so he couldn't stab you in the back, and he threatens to stab you in the front. I mean, is this an enemy of my enemy is my friend situation, or Jack Vaughn, he'd have has in the back of his head.
Jack Vaughn is loyal to no one. I don't have friends. So yes, in this situation, it is an enemy of my enemy is my friend. However, I don't have a short memory. I was almost part of the faction, if you remember. EC3 took over. Now they're the Overmen. But I'm not a part of that. They kicked me out. They beat me down. He, with his own fists and his own boots, put them to me. So he could pretend to be my friend. And he could say that the national championship is the tippy-top title, like it's above this one. But ask OVW fans which one they see on TV every week getting defended, and they know who the top champion is here.
Jack, you're passionate, and I respect that, Jack. So I'll even give you this opportunity here. Clearly, that championship means the world to you. You're ready to take on all comers, apparently. So look at the camera right there. Look at the camera right there and tell anyone who wants to take that championship off the shoulder of Jack Vaughn, be it Tony Gunn, be it Luke Curtis, be it EC3 at some point. What's that going to take?
This championship means more now than it has in many, many years. And it takes a true professional wrestler to elevate a championship. And that's exactly what I've done. It's been defended in Romania. It's been defended in the United Kingdom. So if there's anyone who thinks they have what it takes to beat the veteran Jack Vaughn inside an OVW ring, a professional wrestling ring, the address is 4400 Shepherdsville Road, Louisville, Kentucky, and you can see me there every Thursday night.
Jack Vaughn, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, your OVW heavyweight champion, the veteran, Jack Vaughn.
OVW presents March Mayhem. Your heart starts to race. Whoa! You feel the adrenaline rush through your body. Your passion takes control. Oh! It's OVW Live on our first ever North American tour.
Big spear!
See your favorite OVW superstars live in action, as seen on the hit Netflix reality show Wrestlers.
Welcome to OVW.
Coming to Nashville and Marathon Music Works on Friday night, April 26th. Get tickets now at ovwrestling.com.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Introducing first from the great beyond, the star of the show, Star Rider!
We are back inside Davis Arena where we have the star of the show kicking off this match now, Star Rider. Riding high, if I say, from that victory against Cal Hero last week.
Yeah, without a doubt, the Star Rider, you know, a young man that is making his name here in OVW for the last few years, former Bluegrass. Hang on.
And his opponent from Miami, Florida, certified Luke Curtis.
As I was saying, Star Rider, a man, you know, former Country Boy Brewing Kentucky heavyweight champion, former multiple-time Rush Division champion. He's taking on one of the hottest rising stars, no pun intended, in OVW today, and that is certified Luke Curtis. And you know, as we saw on last week's show, Linda, you know, on this last week's episode of OVW Rise, we are going to see a #1 contendership match between Luke Curtis and Tony Gunn at March Mayhem.
I'm super excited for that. I mean, speaking of riding high, I mean, Luke Curtis having that almost victory against EC3 for the NWA World's Championship not too long ago.
Just fingertips away from the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship was certified Luke Curtis. And that absolutely, that win, if he had gotten that win over EC3, that would have certified him in this business. And that's something Luke Curtis is looking to bank on. Spencer calls for the bell, and we are off and running. And Luke Curtis and Star Rider, you know, they've had wars through OVW's Rush division. These two men tore each other limb from limb, fought from pillar to post all last summer on OVW Summer Tour. And speaking of tours, we are in the middle of starting off our national tour. We were just in Lexington, Kentucky, and for the first time ever at the Irving Theater in Indianapolis this past weekend. Go to OVWTix.com, see when we're coming to your town next. There's nothing like OVW Live on Tour, Linda.
No, I mean, we saw the pictures, and we were there.
Oh, yeah.
Both crowds were hot, and you don't want to miss out on that. Make sure, again, OVWTix.com as we hit your town next.
Strong collar and elbow tie up there after Star Rider shoved Luke Curtis back, saying, look, man, I know where you're at in the pecking order here, but I'm not scared of you. Star Rider backs Curtis into the corner. We're going to get a clean break here. A little tit for tat from Curtis.
Again, Luke Curtis still going strong after the past couple of weeks. I mean, again, he may not have gotten that NWA World's Championship, but this has definitely boosted his confidence. I mean, look at the morale. Look at...
Hang on cover here, rolls him through. 1 count only. But no, you're absolutely right. You've got to think how many eyes were on certified Luke Curtis as he was challenging for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. More than just the OVW faithful, and the OVW faithful spread around the world, but how many eyes in the wrestling business were focused on certified Luke Curtis, and that's exactly how he wants it. You see Curtis now come through. One an arm drag taking him over.
You know what, Luke Curtis, kind of a man on his own these past couple weeks, ever since getting the opportunity to face EC3 for that NWA World's Championship. He has not had that support from the Overmen. I mean, we know how close that, dare I say, faction was between all of them, and now he's a man on his own.
That he has been completely just disowned by the rest of the Overmen, but you see Curtis and Star Rider trading arm drags back and forth so far in this matchup. Curtis now, he's got that arm barred out. He's trying to lock that elbow, Linda.
Got a lot of the crowd behind him. How many eyes just here tonight at Davis Arena are coming just to see certified himself.
Star Rider gets to the ropes, gets a clean break. But Star with a kick to the midsection takes advantage of Curtis. His focus being turned away for just a moment.
Star Rider turning things around.
And Star Rider is one that you want to get, you know, you want a lot of enthusiasm out of Star Rider because this man, he's explosive. As you see, he was trying to go for that shotgun drop kick.
Oh, man. Grinding there on the neck of Star Rider. We've seen this many times. We know that hurts. I can feel it over here.
Yeah, you can. You know, there's something about it. Someone takes you over in a headlock like that. You have no choice. Where the head goes, the body follows. And it's so jarring to the neck. That's what people don't understand. Now Star Rider drives Curtis back into that corner. Shot to the top of the head from Star Rider now. Irish whip. Sends Luke across the ring, but I don't think Star Rider had a whole lot behind that. Looks like Curtis might have slipped out of his grip and been able to put the brakes on a little.
Luke was not fooled.
Huge
Certified chance.
body dropping. Yeah, listen to the crowd.
Crowd strongly behind certified Luke Curtis. And again, we mentioned it, he's got this momentum and this new, I want to say.
Up and over goes Star Rider. Curtis blocks the shot.
Oh.
What a kick to the face.
Oh. Right back at Star Rider.
Curtis cuts him off with a chop. Now Luke Curtis reeling from the effects of that kick, maybe? No, hang on.
Oh, man.
Springboard drop kick. Shades of Lionheart Chris Jericho there. Yo, triangle drop kick that in. Certified Luke Curtis reminding everybody it's exactly who he is. And you know, that's the thing, Linda. Regardless of whether or not the fans here love Luke Curtis or hate him, he is who he is. And that is certified. You see him put the brakes on there. Curtis fights out, lights up Star Rider with a chop. Just flings him back into the ring.
Luke speaking to the crowd there, I mean, bringing it to our fans here at Davis Arena. A lot of excitement in this match. It's like they want to see a lot more, not just from Star, but from Luke as well as he's getting there on the top rope. What can, okay, speaking of certain things.
Yeah, Curtis
not that I would know that same feeling, but.
Curtis likes to go for that diving headbutt. Star Rider had it scouted. Hang on. We going for the Star Killer here?
Oh!
He hit it! He hit the Star Killer! This could be it! 2! Oh!
That was close.
That could have been one of the biggest wins of Star Rider's career if he could have just put away certified Luke Curtis. You know, Star Rider has won multiple championships here in OVW with that Star Killer and Star Destroyer double stomp combo that he likes to use. Luke Curtis now back to that corner. Likes to set up for that shotgun drop kick. Better not take too much time though, Linda.
Will he do it?
Star of the show charges in. Oh, nobody home and a rough landing for Star Rider. Going head first to that bottom cable.
It's like it did take too much time there.
Curtis ducks the line. Flying forearm. And Luke Curtis starting to rock and roll here, Linda. That full Nelson.
Man.
Just plants Star Rider. Oh, he's got that knee pad down. Be looking for that certifier, maybe?
I think it's coming.
Star Rider trying to pull himself up in that corner. He's got nowhere to go. Certifier! Right to the point of the jaw, hooks the legs.
Here is your winner, certified Luke Curtis.
Certified Luke Curtis pulls out the victory here tonight, but a hard-fought battle. Take nothing away from Star Rider. But again, the man that just challenged for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship not that long ago. Luke Curtis, what height's going to reach next?
We shall see. You can only go up from here.
What a match. Luke Curtis and Star Rider putting on an absolute clinic. But hey, they're two of the best for a reason and one of my favorite rivalries from the past couple years. These guys always put in absolute classics. Folks, speaking about absolute classic, my trip through Europe, a little bit less than classic. I've already told you, making my way out of Austria, falling in love in France, and then I made my way to the UK. Started a punk band called the Crushing Anxieties. Had a couple hits, nothing big, radio friendly, but not overplayed. And folks, things went all right there. But then my big break came when we were able to get into Ireland for a few shows. And then I faked my death and met up with my friends from the unit, Dave and Patty. Dave and Patty were kind enough to sneak me into a bourbon barrel, chop up some carrots, and give me some crackers so I had sustenance as I made my long journey over the Atlantic back to the U.S. soil. And folks, that's how I made it here back to OVW Overdrive. I did it all for you. Thank you, David. Thank you, Patty, from the unit, for smuggling me in that bourbon barrel. The carrots were delicious. The crackers, not so much. Got soggy in the bourbon. But folks, I made it back, and that's what matters, because I made it to OVW Overdrive. It's the show that always kicks out at 2, and will continue to kick out at 2, despite the fact that I don't exactly know where Steve is right now. And I'm 90% sure that Al is not quite done with me yet. But folks, Overdrive is about persistence. We're about grit and determination. Is he behind me? Folks, that's OVW Overdrive this week. I got some things to figure out. Now I'm wrapping up now. You might like her if you just give her a chance. Just give her... We might have to move the Shaw to Utah. Just something to keep in mind. No, I said you're tall. I said you are tall. Why am I always the liar?
Well, I don't know where the hell I am. But I know where I'm not. Al? I would say I'm sorry, but I mean, I love the woman. Shame on you. I just gotta figure out where the hell I am.